Mr. Feet? Mr. Bob A. Feet?
Sure, whatever.
Yes. What is going on, beautiful people of the internet? It is your boy, the one, the only Mr. Bubba Feet himself. Today, back with a brand new unboxing and review video for you guys here today. And of course, if you guys don't already know by the title of this video, well, ladies and gents, Hot Toys has given us the liberty to release this beautiful, beautiful figure that I have been waiting for anxiously for about almost like 2 years. Holy shit, it's been almost 2 years. But yeah, we finally have it here today. And of course, big shout out to Midas Studios for, of course, always helping your boy get his hands on these pieces, because, well, I like to have these pieces early and then also review for you guys. So if you guys are interested in day one pre-orders and all that good stuff, well, the link in the description, Midas Studios, day one pre-orders, I'm telling you, just beautiful service. But back to the figure here itself. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have this beautiful figure for you guys here today. I'm super excited. Like I said, I've been waiting so long for this. I have been waiting for this interpretation of Darth Maul in, well, Hot Toys fashion for the longest. Of course, we did have the Phantom Menace and the Solo one, but by far this is my most anticipated one because, well, he looks stupid badass in the Clone Wars Season 7 and just Clone Wars in general. Like towards the end, he just looks super cool. And well, here we have him today, ladies and gents. But before we get into that, real quick, if you guys are interested in any Star Wars Hot Toys unboxings or Star Wars, collectibles unboxings, well, hit the little red button down below that says subscribe. Hit the little bell notification so when I upload, you guys know when I upload and all that stuff, like videos like this. So hit that thing, and of course, well, support your boy. But back to the figure here itself. As you guys can see, we have a different box than usual, but the artwork is usually the same. As you guys can see, it has the same Star Wars box art as usually almost every Star Wars collectible has, of course, with the Star Wars holographic logo and a picture of the figure here itself in the front. And then there's no ribbon on it, unfortunately, but I mean, who gives a shit about that anyways? But yes, ladies and gents, I honestly thought that this was going to be a way bigger box, but then how they packaged it and everything is super fucking just, it's brilliant in my opinion. I had no idea they were going to do it like this up until I saw it in person, obviously. And of course, how you do this is you don't just open it like that. You slide this puppy off, and as you guys can tell, just right off the bat, we have one of the biggest selling points, at least not for me, but could have been for many people, is we have the Mandalore Jedi box that, well, as you guys know, if you guys seen Season 7, they have Maul here in this, and it's ridiculous. This thing is beautiful. It is, like I said, it's big. Obviously, it's for a 1/6 scale figure, and they're 12 inches big and all that, but as you guys can see, this is just super detailed. Another just nice packaging and just nice overall like packaging for the figure itself. And it's not just like a straight cardboard, it's literally textured. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is textured. When you feel it, it's all textured and all that. It all has like all like the helmets of the Mandalores right here, just it's all textured. I don't know how else I can describe it. Hopefully maybe you guys can see it. It's like when you touch it, but if you see it in person, you will know what I mean. It's not just a simple screen print or cardboard of all the textures. On this side it is, which is I get, but it's more so the front, where if you were to have it like this, obviously it's textured as well, like if you were to see a real carved stone thing or whatever, but yeah. And then as you guys can see, or you guys can't really see it, I can barely see it here, you can see Darth Maul's eyes right here, just straight looking forward, just like in Clone Wars Season 7 and all that. But you know what, I'm gonna shut my ass up and then actually open the box, because I'm super excited. Woo-hoo. I know I always do that, but fuck, dude, I love Darth Maul, and well, this adaptation of Darth Maul is just beautiful. But as you guys can see, we have the figure here itself, and I gotta figure out where the hell the accessories are. But once we do that, of course, I'll have all the accessories laid out in front of us, and we will be right back. Alright, so we are back with all the accessories laid out in front of us here today. As you guys can tell, well, this figure doesn't actually come with that much accessories besides the hands and of course the lightsaber things. When you really look at it, it's just the lightsaber and this, really, which is kind of a bummer, and I kind of thought there was going to be more, but at the same time, I'm not really tripping because, well, you don't really need that much stuff anyways to make Darth Maul look badass. But yes, we have all the accessories here laid out in front of us, and of course, well, we get into the boring stuff here first. And of course, the boring stuff here is the base itself. As you guys can see, we just have a generic Hot Toys rectangular base, as you guys can see right here. Thank you once again, Hot Toys, for actually giving us the best. No, I don't want to say the best, but you know, just the standard base. That's it, because the sand ones really do suck, and I really wish I hope they stop giving those out. But yeah, those suck. But anyways, and then moving on to the boring stuff, we do have the little red lightsabers, as you guys can see. Nothing going. I'm not gonna go deep dive into that. I'm just gonna show obviously that it comes with it, so you guys can see the motion moving ones, and then of course the standard ones, of course. And then of course we go into the hands. We have the gloved hands, and I honestly didn't even know that this was going to come with a different set, which are the flesh tone ones, but we'll get into a second. But as you guys can see, just normal gloves, hands, of course, different types of signals that you can have and all that, which is very, very nice. And then of course we have the flesh tone, you know, Darth Maul hands. It's really, really nice, really detailed. As you guys can see, the fingernails and the hands, it's just overall, it just matches Darth Maul. Really, really nice. And the details you guys can see is those, you know, the veins in his hands. I really like the fact that Hot Toys did that and added those, you know, well, special details. But yeah, as you guys can see, nothing crazy, just, you know, your standard ones, gripping and all that. One holding his hand out, I believe, and then another one just, you know, gripping his lightsaber, as you guys can see. And then moving on to, I guess, I wouldn't want to say this is a really dope accessory. It's just kind of an extra kind of thing. This is, as you guys can see, if you guys don't know, this is a clone armor, or this is a clone's gauntlet, as you guys can see. This goes on, well, the wrist or the forearm of a clone. And if you guys didn't know, well, Darth Maul literally manhandled a group of clones in season 7 when he escaped during Order 66. He was fucking shut up. He was fucking shut up to the point where he actually chopped one guy's hand off, and he used it to basically find out what was going on throughout the whole ship. Maybe add a clip or something, but if you guys don't know, we'll go look it up. You know, just look up Darth Maul hallway scene and you will know exactly what I'm talking about. But this is something that you can add on to Darth Maul's, obviously his form and all that, just as a little attachment and all that, if you want to have like a little, you know, display type of thing with clones and Darth Maul and all that. I personally probably will never use this, just because I don't ever plan on doing it unless I have more space to do something like that. But even then, I don't think I would. But yeah, as you guys can see, it's nothing crazy, just obviously white armor with a little bit of weathering on it. But that's about it when it comes to that. And then of course, last but not least, we have the lightsabers, which is probably the best accessory that I would say that is in this, well, pack. It's the lightsabers. Obviously we have the light up lightsaber here, nothing crazy, just obviously you put the batteries in there and you switch the arm for that. Nothing crazy into there. But we have, like I said, the lightsaber here, which is just, you can, you know, take it off him or not. As you guys can see, we have the little handle that goes into like the clip, you know, that you can put on Darth Maul. And of course we have, well, Darth Maul's lightsaber, or half of it for the most part. This is his original one from the Phantom Menace, but of course, you know, when Obi-Wan was fucking him up, he obviously cut it in half and only one was working. And then of course we have the extension, or just the newer version of Darth Maul's thing, where obviously he just used it as a replacement for his other, I guess, bladed lightsaber and all that. But it's a really nice touch. It's really different. Obviously it's really, really nice, as you guys can see, really detailed. Overall, just this lightsaber is detailed as hell. I love that Hot Toys always puts detail into these, especially the fact that, well, they're super small, but they still manage to do that, of course. One unfortunate thing though is that this actually doesn't come detached. It's more so not like the other ones, where on the Phantom Menace version it's actually detachable, where on this one it's actually glued together, and there's no option for you to be able to take it off. I mean, you obviously could, but I mean, I don't see why you would. But yeah, that doesn't come off, just as a, you know, note for you guys there. It just doesn't come off. But yeah, that's Darth Vader's, stupid as fuck, that's Darth Maul's lightsaber right there, as you guys can see. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the accessory part of this figure, as you guys can see. And what we will do now, of course, is actually get into the figure itself, so we'll be right back. One thing I did want to, alright guys, before we actually get into the figure itself, I did want to show the head sculpt that this comes with, and as you guys can see, it is a beautiful, beautiful head sculpt. But one thing I did realize, and a lot of people are complaining about, is actually, well, like I said, the head sculpt, and whether or not it's the Solo Maul version. Unfortunately, I do not have the Maul version on me right now, so I can't really compare, but I do have the Phantom Menace head sculpt, as you guys can see right here. And as you guys can see, there is a pretty good difference. One main thing for me, at least, it's the horns. The horns, as you guys can see, this one and the Phantom Menace one, it's more shorter compared to the to the Clone Wars one, which is ideally, I guess it's kind of like hair. It's obviously as you grow older, they just got longer and all that. Obviously, I believe in the earlier years of Clone Wars, he does have longer ones to the point where it's super long, but obviously it was lengthened and all that stuff. But yeah, the tattooing on the face is pretty much the same as you guys can see on this one. On the newer version, it does have its mouth open, which showing the teeth a little bit, where on this one it's just a closed mouth. Simple as that. This Phantom Menace one does come with another head sculpt where he's just screaming, which I do have on there, which you can kind of really see. But yeah, it's just the simple one. And as you guys can see, this one is more reddish compared to this one, where it's kind of a very faint red. It's still red obviously, but it's more, I guess, faded, if that makes sense. And then of course the eyes are pretty much the same. This one may just be a little bit more redder than this one. Obviously mine is moved around because obviously it's a DX. This one does have it movable eyes as well, but I personally probably won't even have it moved around just because it's kind of a pain to do and all that, and not really a pain, but just I don't know, I don't really want to mess with it. And then obviously this one is looking to the side. But yeah, and it does have, both head sculpts do have the little piercing that Ray Park did have when he was filming with Phantom Menace, and they actually just kept it in there. And one main big difference too, and a lot of people I do see, is obviously the fact that this is based off of the younger version of Darth Maul compared to this one, where obviously Darth Maul is a little older. But a lot of people don't like the fact that this is basically kind of the same as Solo Maul because of the fact that his face looks a bit chunkier than the Phantom Menace version. As you guys can see, this one right here, you guys can see his cheeks are a little bit bigger than this one right here, which is obviously, well, the Phantom Menace. It's a little bit slimmer on the Phantom Menace version compared to this one, which I kind of do see why. And I do actually want to put, you know, the head sculpt on the figure itself. As you guys can see right here, you guys can kind of see where a lot of people are different. And I did actually put the head sculpt of the Phantom Menace version on this one, and I honestly, I kind of prefer it. It's kind of, you know, it's a younger look obviously, but you know, I do see why, you know, there is a difference. I mean, you can kind of see that this is obviously not the the Clone Wars version because of the head sculpt, but you know, this one does show that it is, you know, an older version of Maul, which I do like. It does look better. I can't, like I said, I can't really compare the Solo version with this one just because it's kind of, you know, I don't have the figure here with me right now. But yeah, there's practically, and well, that's the head sculpt. Very, very beautiful head sculpt. But with that being said, let's just move on to the figure itself. So, alright, ladies and gents, we are back here with the figure here itself in its, well, not final form, but he is out of the box. And let me just tell you, this is an absolute beautiful figure. I say this all the fucking time. I know, I'm super sorry, but I can't help but, you know, express my feelings towards a figure that I've been waiting for years now, and we actually have it. But I cannot, like I said, you know, lie to you guys. This is a very, very beautiful figure, and I'm super happy that we finally have this adaptation of Darth Maul, because I have been waiting for the longest for this. I did not want the Solo version because I thought that fool looked fat, but this one, in my opinion, is the best version that you could possibly get, right behind the Phantom Menace. I know that is a very, I guess that's somewhat of a crazy take, I guess you could say, but we'll talk more about that later. But yes, ladies and gents, we have Clone Wars Maul here, as you guys can see. He just looks absolutely beautiful. I did show the head sculpt beforehand, so I'm not really going to get into that. But the outfit in general, I think this is his best outfit. Like I said, this is just, I think it's just Maul at his peak, which is of course when he is the ruler of Mandalore and taking over that shit. I think it just looks beautiful. I think my favorite part about this is actually his legs. I think a big part of it, I guess, watching Clone Wars when I first was watching it before season 7, you know, when I was younger, when they were actually coming out way back then, I actually thought he had normal legs, but not till a little till after, when I started rewatching Clone Wars, that, well, he actually had robotic legs, and it was very, very hard to tell just because of the animation. But as you guys can see, he does have robotic legs here. As you guys can see, the little, you know, the bearings and all that on the sides as well. Obviously, when it comes to, you know, his flexibility and all that, it's very, very nice. You know, it's more of a robotic stance when it comes to, like, you know, posability and all that, but it still gets the job done, and I think it does a wonderful job of doing that. As you guys can see, it just looks beautiful. The weathering on this, or the paint apps on this, looks very, very nice. It obviously is supposed to look like you know, a gunmetal gray and all that, just a nice shade of black and gray together to make it identify that obviously he has robotic legs. And then moving up, we have just these normal pants, brown pants, as you guys can see. Hopefully you guys get a good look of it, but the brown pants looks very, very nice on him. And of course the top, which is also my favorite part. Like I said, this whole outfit of his, I think it looks badass. I think it just looks super, super sick. As you guys can see, he has his camo, or right, I think that's what you call it, his camo, whatever you want to call it, his, you know, his leather suit. I love this look on just any, you know, force wielding being or anything like Anakin. I love that he has his leather things like that in episode 3. It just looks badass. I love the leather look of it. And of course with Darth Maul, it looks better. It looks no better. It just looks beautiful. It looks wonderful. And I love his belt right here. It's absolutely just stunning. I just think overall this figure is beautiful. When it comes to, I guess, posability, it is kind of hard just because of his shield plates right here. It is metal right here, you know, obviously it's leather, but this kind of does, you know, stop it from going all the way up, which it's not a bad thing. Of course, like guys, if you guys don't know, you guys can actually take off his whole top off and kind of have him shirtless, where he does have tattoos. I unfortunately won't be doing that just because it's a lot of work and I just don't feel like doing that, because I'm never going to display him like that. But if you guys want to go check it out, check somewhere else, or I'll put pictures. It's in the promo pictures, you know, you know, it's there. I know, I'm sorry if I don't do it, but just this time I won't do it just because there's a lot of work to do, and it's just, I don't want to do that. I think it looks perfect the way it came, and I don't want to fuck it up because I know I'll fuck it up. But yeah, he does have his tattoos under here, but obviously once you take the armor off and all that, you can obviously flex him a little bit more better than, you know, your usual self. He is single jointed with his arm, so that is kind of a bummer, but I'm not really tripping about that, just because Darth Maul doesn't really need to do that many like crazy shit with his arm. He can just have a very sophisticated look, and he'll still look like he'll fuck your shit up. And then of course, like I said, just overall it looks beautiful. You guys can kind of see a little bit of his chest tattoos if you open it up a little bit more. Obviously it's that nice red that matches with, well, Mr. Maul himself. And of course the head is magnetic. Of course, a lot of people are worried about the neck. I personally don't see anything wrong with the neck. I think it's just the angle, how it was. It may seem like it this way, but in person, I promise you, it is way better. So do not think that the whole neck situation is a big deal. But yeah, and then when it comes to legs, obviously his legs are a lot more, you know, flexible more than his arms, which is a very, very... Fuck. As I was saying earlier, the legs are much more flexible than the arms. Of course, you can't really go all the way up. You can move forward a pretty good amount of times, or not times, but just a little bit more better than, you know, moving up to the sideways. And of course, I mean, that's pretty much all it can go. But one thing I do want to mention is the fact that the hands, of course, they're easy to come off. And of course, it is blocked by like this leather or pleather little material that, of course, it also did happen with the Phantom Menace. So I personally take it off because no one really looks at the wrist. It's more so of a, like, an extra detail that Hot Toys included when it comes to like covering the pegs and all that. I don't think that's a big deal for me. It's not really like a deal breaker for me. A lot of people might be for others, but for me, I take it off just because, well, as you guys saw, my hands just flew just like that, and I don't want that happening. It's not fun. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And of course, like I said, the flexibility with the armor here, it's not that much, but it is what it is. I'm not complaining too much just because, well, like I said earlier, I don't care for Darth Maul doing any like not stupid poses, but crazy acrobatic poses. I just want him in a simple museum pose. But yeah, overall the detail on this is beautiful. Hopefully you guys can actually catch what's on there, because if you don't, well, I'm shit out of luck and I suck at my job, or just I suck at reviewing figures. But yeah, you guys can see Darth Maul's absolutely gorgeous in just standard form. But with that being said, ladies and gents, we are going to move on to the final and my favorite part of the video, and that's of course posing this figure in the mini poses that, well, I can pose him at least, because, well, I'm not the best poser, but I will try to pose him in the best way possible while also giving my final thoughts on the figure itself. So we will be right back. Alright, ladies and gents, we are back with the final part of the video, and that is of course my personal favorite part. Well, obviously it is my favorite part, well, because I get to showcase his beautiful figure in his beautiful poses while also, well, expressing my final thoughts of the figure itself. So while the figure's being, you know, showcased right now, I do want to say this figure is beautiful in every aspect way possible. There is one fucking thing that I hate about this, and it is the hands with the wrist pegs and the gauntlets. Those are the most painful things to, like, honestly do. I literally spent most of my time posing, like, with just trying to put the hands onto the fucking pegs itself. And because of the gauntlet, I removed the little pleather piece that comes with it to, I guess, cover the color of the wrist peg. I don't care about that. I really don't. You can probably see in one of I guess the poses that I did, you can see the wrist pegs when he has his hand like this. But honestly, I do not give a shit, because those things are super hard to, like, I guess, work with, and it's just not worth the time or effort trying to do that. I just took them off, and well, yeah, that's really one of the, I guess, main cons to this figure is that, well, it's really difficult to put the hands on the pegs. That just may be me. I may just be like stupid in the head or something, but honestly, that's one big con for me. Another I would say is the fact that you can't really, I guess, lift his arms up all the way up with the armor on. At least maybe with the shirt, I haven't even checked yet, because, well, I don't plan on taking the shirt off whatsoever. I don't want shirtless Maul in my collection. Honestly, that's just not my type of deal or anything like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to that. Other than that, honestly, this figure is just gorgeous in its aspect. It's Darth fucking Maul. And in Clone Wars Season 7, I think that was, like I said earlier in the video, that was his most peak, I guess, not, I want to say performance, but his most peak, I guess, version of himself. Obviously, he's better than himself in Phantom Menace. With looks, I have to go with this one, just because I think it's just, he has a two-sided lightsaber that is completely different from one another. He has robot legs. He has a fucking, like, leather, I guess, canvas. I don't even know what it's called. I'm sorry. Sith tunic. There you go. He has a Sith tunic, a leather tunic, and he just looks badass. He looks so sick compared to the Phantom Menace. Don't get me wrong, I love the Phantom Menace, and I honestly think that looks way better than the solo version. But this one is the first one, and then second is Phantom Menace, and then of course that one itself, the Maul one. I'm sorry, the solo one. But yeah, honestly, I think it's the best version, and the fact that obviously you can purchase it now, I honestly would say, well, purchase it now. A lot of people miss out on the Phantom Menace version, and a lot of people want it, and I'm pretty sure people still want it other than this one. But still, if you want them all, you're in the market for one, I highly recommend getting this one, because, well, like I said, it's the best version, and just, you can see in the many different poses. It's also kind of hard to, like, showcase the poses, you know, and in person it's way different than actually, you know, doing it on video, because, well, I probably just suck at, you know, doing video shit and all that stuff. But in general, this figure, you can pose it in really anything and it'll look super nice, and the head sculpt fits, I think, perfectly well with this, well, version of Darth Maul. But with that being said, ladies and gents, if you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like on the video, because it really helps your boy out with the YouTube algorithm. And of course, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about this figure, whether you would pick it up, whether you have it on pre-order, whether you don't want to pick it up, why not, because, well, I like hearing your guys' thoughts and opinions on it, as well as my own, because, well, obviously I'm saying it now, but I mean, like I said, I like interacting with you guys and all that type. But yeah, and if you guys like these types of unboxing reviews and all that good stuff, well, hit that little red button down below, and of course hit that little bell notification, because like I said, I just randomly upload when I can, because I'm mostly busy with my life and all that. But yeah, so if you guys made it at the end of this video, well, I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching throughout the whole video, and just remember, I'm just a simple man just trying to make his way through YouTube, and, well, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.